All right, ghouls and goblins. Let's get into first reviewing the forecast. What did I forecast really?
If
What did I
it
think was going to happen?
is really
Turn the sound off there. Kind of zoom back and forth. Start towards the beginning, just laying down some VWAPs. I was pointing out, I remember, and I'll draw a zone here shortly in this video. I was pointing out that I think this pre-market VWAP will hold. And then if that kind of breaks down, then I thought that these areas down here will hold on the left chart here. These VWAP, this VWAP, this VWAP here. Shortly ahead in the video, I actually make a little green zone. I put it down there. And then about halfway into the video or something like that, um, data pops off. Is at 8:30. It's going to be in a minute here. Moving forward, 8:30. Um, Boom, we get a, where is that data? Here it is. Huge data pop off, which was rolling up right off the pre-market 30 VWAP. So that, just kind of held, yep, held there. Didn't get below there. Huge data pump. That's kind of the power of these VWAPs when you got the trend, and then I drew this red zone here. I was like, I think there's probably some scalps to be had here on that all-time high VWAP. Um, the previous high on the 30 structure. Remember, I noted that. I said the fur, probably at least have some resistance around this 30 structure, and if we break above that, start holding above that, then that's not good for any shorts. But I was long bias because we're in a buy signal, so thought about that. And then towards the end here, I noted that I'm just going to fib out this data candle um, and go for push there. And I didn't specify what kind of fib. So I like body fibs, and I asked a teacher, Brandon, with BRT, um, about body fibs versus high low fibs for the five. And he pointed out that they're both good. It's about when they work, not if. So I like body fibs because the targets are smaller, so I can be in and out with guaranteed targets. One of my problems with discretionary trading is if you don't know where to take a target, you could be like, oh, this is going higher, and then boom, 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 and then you're getting crushed by this 5 minute candle. And it's like, oh, do I just cut? Do I just cut? You have no reason or know where to cut besides just structurally say the low of the candle or something like that. I'm gonna like using a smaller fib. Um, I pointed out that there was no seller beat on the Mac, so this is bullish. I was bullish all this morning, which I made clear. And then yeah, so we're gonna fib the candle. Like I said, I like the body fib. And then unfortunately, I actually had a ninja trade. I would have taken this because this right here was a perfect, um, not not bottom test, but I'm putting that there. This was the back test at the top. So here's the thing about broken top back test is if volume is busted through, it said it screwed all these shorts, it busted through, and it came and back tested. Usually, this is going to be a tight back test, which goes in line with my tighter fib. So if I go ahead and make this dotted, so it's a little easier to see here. Um, that's right, comes right down into the golden pocket, matches up, or I'm sorry, over here, comes right down into the golden pocket here, matches up with the back test of the broken top, and that's for an aggressive one. You're going for what is this? 5:45:30. Your stop should be down here, so 5:45:20. So you could have a two, a one, 1.5 point stop, right? So you're buying right on the 50, 33. 1.5, 50. So that's what I mean, two, almost 2 whole points. 1.75. So you got like a 1.5 point stop, giving it some room. Really, it should be like a 1 point stop, one and a tick, and then you get 1.75 ticks for the one, and then you get up to the 161, and you should be out. I mean, a quarter of your position here and out a half here. So I had 75% of the position, but I had a Ninja Trader error, so I had a problem there. And then, and I should remember this for fibs. I should. I'm talking for myself here. You know, talking to my, by me, by me, for me, to be watched by me. Um, and then open, I was like, I still think the body's going to hold. Now, um, a mentor, a mentor in our room was talking about how this is going to get. This is a total gamble. You shouldn't be buying the highs, and I kind of pigeonholed and let that kind of get into my head. But what I didn't even think about is the fact that he was talking about NQ. He was talking about NQ. He was talking about QQQ. I was looking at SPY. I was looking at ES, and I shouldn't have, because the point is, then it came back and it tested that golden pocket again, and this time it was off of the data candle bottom 5 minute. Boom, tagged it all the way up to the 423. Right, so that would have been like, you know, quarter position here, 2 quarters position here, break it up into some more quarters. You get out an eighth here, an eighth there, boom. It's the whole fib completed. Trail it, probably once it's the way I think fibs probably ran is once you're above the 161, you should put the stop somewhere below the 161 so you don't get falsely stopped while it's chopping this area. Next target straight up 261, and same thing trying to get to the 423. So anyway, that played out, and then we got into my zone, and my zone was what was that? Something like this. So, but I drew that zone before that data candle happened. That actually pushed right into the zone at the start. Um, but we got just to that. I remember mentioning this 30-minute structure. We got just to that 30-minute structure and then came back down. So even if I was foolish enough to start just shorting here for no reason, it wouldn't have violated my stop. But that's no, it would have been too close. But the point is that structure was a nice target call, lined up with the 423. So I was happy about that, and I was happy about this golden pocket fib. And then after the body fib got completed, something that I'm going to look at later. I don't know if this is right. This was just, but I hadn't taken the trade up until this point, so I actually have my recording of the day up here. So this is my chart here. I was just waiting. These 2 5-minute candles here. This is the start of this roll, and then I decided to extend my fib. You see here on Ninja, I've got the whole high low. And I was looking for golden pocket. I was like, so we bounced to the body pocket twice for a gigantic move. I was like, probably going to bounce that 50 pocket. And that 50 pocket at 45.16 was below a lot of the VWAPs. um, but it was above our low a day VWAP. So, or kind of, where are we at here? Is right below this VWAP from low a day, right? But I wasn't really worried, honestly. Like I'm finding confluence with the VWAPs, but I wasn't really worried about the VWAPs for this trade. This is a fib trade. So let's look into that trade here. What are we? Yeah, 9 minutes in here, getting into the first trade. So I watched this roll. I'm patiently waiting. Proud of myself for that. Nice and patient on the first trade. Um, I just need to work on doing that for the rest of them. I'm pretty sure I elongate my fib here, and then boom. Cause I don't elongate the fib, whatever. I see it. So let's look at the price action. Boom, stops at the 50, pulls back up on that 5-minute candle. I'm like, I'm gonna buy that golden pocket. And watch this run back up. I got the default sell up here, about 6.5 points up. Halfway up this roll, it's above the 100, getting towards the 161. And I'm looking to close that. And well, what I should have done maybe is fibbed out this dump itself. So if I pause this recording, note that I'm in on the golden pocket here, right about here. If I fib out this dump, and it's going to be a little busy, fibs on fibs, um, I could have gone, to the 50 of the retrace or something like that. But we're pretty bullish, and I'm in below the low day VWAP, and we have the high a day anchors. Um, I could have put 5 minute anchors on the roll, and that would have gotten me a larger target. But I got into the trade and I stopped. It's kind of brain got a little funky. So then we get a huge recovery candle like right after I get in, very next candle, and I got in one contract just to ease into the position. And I should have perhaps thought about getting into another one. I mean, especially when we get that big support, maybe I can even look for a good spot to do that. So we cracked, huge move, cracked all the way back down, bounced the pocket around here. Let me sync. Actually, let's not sync that. Let's just copy paste it. So do we go to my 30? All right, here we go. Yeah, I mean, I could have, once we get this big hammer here, I could have maybe placed another buy down near the close of the hammer, right? Still planning to kind of stop, just add into the position here. Especially because we bounced right above the 100 really quick. Could have bought another off the 100, but I was in one. I didn't want to chase, but maybe this called for a little adding in. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask my mentor on Friday. Um, so maybe that called for a little adding in, whatever. But so I'm sitting in this trade now, and I move my target up a bit, and then I'm like, oh, whoa, I'll move it back a little bit. And then I get just a tick of a red candle, and I just cut it. I just cut it right there on one big one big green candle. It's white on mine, but it should be green. We get a little bit of a pullback. Um, yeah, and then if I look here, I mean, this is the trading view candle here. Turn the big hammer. You know, and I just got a little too worried. I didn't want to lose anything, but I could have been thinking about adding it. I mean, what did the 5 minute indicators look like at this point? Um, it doesn't look good. I mean, on the 5 Mac, I mean, it doesn't. We did get over hot finally. We did have divergence. Um, we were getting a red. We were getting a downslope on the Mac. Um, so maybe closing out there was decent. But once I saw that it's kind of not breaking down like I expected, maybe I could have gotten back in for some push up. But I didn't. So there's the one trade, and I just watched it go. No big deal. So I was proud of that. And then what I didn't like is that eventually, once it got up towards this 261, I was like, oh, I'm gonna think about shorting this. Right? I had an order sitting there, and then eventually I get just a tiny bit of weakness. Now, in some of my defense, we did get um, the cross down in the two. I mean, we're right about here, right? Right about here, and it looks like it could go for a deeper cycle. It looks like the five could cross down. It we came up and we touched the 5 minute top down, and then put in like this candle here, which I'm pretty sure I saw by then, yeah. And I was like, okay, I mean, we could go ahead and revert some of this. But what I don't like about it, I mean, regardless of what confirmation was there, um, I said in the beginning of the day that I was looking for longs, and then I went and tried to take a short. I don't like that, you know. And I did have, was it 30? I did have like a 6 point winner or so. Um, is it 38? 44 almost. Yeah, just under 30, just under 44. Like a 6 point winner. Right. And then I went and just kind of thought that I could just go and short this, and I was in profit for a little bit of time. It didn't go against me immediately. It comes down a bit, so where are we at? We're at like here. And then if I let me pause this, look at where we're at in trading view. We are at the downside of this candle. If I drop a 5 minute anchor, maybe like, am I planning to get to the 5 minute anchor? I'm not too sure. I mean, I was right that there was a little bit of bearish pressure building, but there was no seller beat. I wasn't in like a second leg of a sell movement. I just thought it was gonna roll back down further, even though I had said that I was looking for bullish moves. So it starts going against me, and I just cut it. I'm like, this is not good. I didn't want to be doing that. Um, and I cut it in a good spot. I'm happy about that because then it just shoved all the way back up. And then at this point, I could have looked at the 30-minute structure. So if I pause here, we're like up here about to break above this high day. And I know I said that this structure is going to be really important because if we break this high and make a new high, then this is definitely a bullish structure. So of course, I mean, this is either going to snap hard, I think, or it's going to get the hesitation. And so I could have, waited all the way up there for a short scalp or something like that. Sure. Considering that the market is also in like a confused spot, um, I could have done that. But I didn't. I tried to go for that short. And then I just don't do anything else. I'm like, I don't like how I did that. Made a new high, and then starts rolling back down. And then eventually at that point, I'm just getting ready to call it a day. I actually said in my group 30 minutes before, down here at this point, this is 11. I said in my group 30 minutes before that I want to just call it a day. I mean, right now I made this 6 point winner, and then I made this like 1.5 point expense, and really this could have been, I mean, a short off of the fresh high day, but into my level break, etc. Um, but I didn't. But I'm happy about the first trade. I'm happy I cut this soon. That's decent management. Um, and then I made eventually, and then I said I wanted to leave, but then I actually decided to make one more trade. So I wasn't happy about that. I wasn't telling myself I should stop, but part of me was like, I could just call it. I wasn't at the point where part of my mentality was telling myself to stop, but I knew that I was at the point where I would be happy to just call it with my fib wins. And this actually would have been two fire wins um, if I had gotten my golden pocket entry. It would have been that, and then I think after that had that winner, that 100 winner. Um, I would have probably this is actually a 161 winner off the body. I would have had some confidence there to grab the body again. So I would have had three fantastic fib winners here, and I feel like part of me was trying to make up for that. Um, so I got to really focus on that. And then we're getting down here, and we crack down here, and we're having some consolidation and stuff. And I decided to go long off of, I'm pretty sure I had reasons. Oh yeah, I mean we're at the 100 fib, and so there's that. We're at the 100 fib, and I saw the 2 minute Mac kind of curling, and I saw that this is like that. Yeah, we were around the bottom up from pre-market. We were around. Uh, I think were we around? No, we weren't. We weren't around that level. See, and I could have gone long like down here, down near my live hours VWAP, but instead I just tried to go long here. And what I did, and I know, is that I was like, I have to fit. If I need my hard stop is 11:30, so I was like, I need quotations to fit in the trade before that, and that was just not good. Because the trade is sitting here consolidating for a little bit. It goes in my favor a bit. It goes like at least 2 points. I don't take the profit, but I'm like that's strong. We're still kind of looking like we might cross here, getting some basing on the RSI, um, and then I add into it. Goes a little bit more in profit. I don't take any. Should have taken one at my two. I didn't follow my rules, right? I could have taken one at 2 points. I could have taken one at 2 points, but I didn't follow my rules. 'Cause I'm a jag, um, you know. Uh, and then it starts going against me, and I like realize it. I move the stop up. It comes back. As soon as I moved the stop up and it barely missed it, I should have just cut at even and been like, see ya. But instead it goes against me like 1.5 points, almost 2 points. Yeah, 1.25, 1.5. Yeah, and I just closed at 1.5, and I just like F this. And it's a good thing I did because then, like literally that candle I closed on, the last 2 minutes of it got violent and crushed. So those are my three trades today. And what I'm thinking about again, thinking about what I could have done better is sticking to my plan. I'm only looking for 4 trades a day maximum, right? Two, one is fine. One banger trade is fine. The one banger trade, second banger trade, call it a day. I'm only looking for 1 to 4 trades. I don't need to be going long and short. I said I was looking for longs today. I said I was going to fib out the data candle. I fibbed out the data candle. I missed that trade. I let myself get confused by my mentor talking about a different instrument than I was even looking to trade. Um, I didn't take this, so that would have been one. That would have been two. Ding, all the way to the top. And then I would have just waited. Sure, maybe I would have made a bad trade around here, but if I stuck to my plan, I also was waiting for these VWAPs. So this VWAP here, which I was waiting for, um, got tagged here, right here. And then it came down and missed this one. And this would have been a zone that I would have gotten into. I would have seen. There's still, I mean, that is a really strong sell wave, but it's at a great level that I want to be at. And I could have seen this curl here. It starts really curling up, and I could have seen that this support's coming in. I saw the 2 minute Mac, and then it recovers this pocket here, and then I could have even just used that fib. At this point, I had already swapped it to the high low. So recovers this golden pocket, and I could have gotten long like anywhere around here, and then that would have been decent. I could have gotten long as soon as I mean this 2 minute mag, that's 0807. As soon as it gets like here and it cracks above, we got the cross. I mean the 5 is right about the cross. I could have gotten long here, and I could have gotten long here to my first target would have been my first target would have been, as per my strat, um, 5 minute top down. So the chart's kind of busy. Let me actually just click this chart. So my target, um, top down here, sync that so I can see the 2 minute. So could have gone ahead, taken some profit, and at this point, close that candle, run up here, take a quarter here. Drop the 30 fib from the high day here. So that would have been all the way up here. So I could have taken, a quarter here, half here, watch the pump, you know, something like that. Probably really I would have been out like 75 position of my position in this area. But that could have been the third trade, one, two, three, four. I could have had four winners right off my um, plan, but instead I just got long here off the 100 fib with no real confirmation. The spread 5 minute MAC, um, and very little, just a little bit of lower frame confirmation, which isn't good, and just didn't use my levels. So still green though on the day. Um, it was two, 1.5, two contracts times 1.5, so it's 3 points there, another point. So I'm green like 2 points today on ES. I feel like my account actually shows more than that. Um, but I got to remember, just wait for these A trades, wait for these really good trades. So let's recap today. Getting better, cut my losses quick. I'm glad about that. Didn't let them flush out. I had three that could have flushed against me hard, and I got out smart. So that's great. I let my winner run a bit. Could have done better, but let that run a bit, and yeah, do better tomorrow. And that's the recap. I'm going to shut this off and then do the forecast for tomorrow.